Taurus, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading. That is your 3-month overview, July, August, and September. We're going to start by going over the board I'm using for you and all 12 signs. That way we're on the same page. We'll begin your reading with looking at you for the month of July. 7, the Chariot. Then, August. 8, Strength. Naturally, September. 9, the Hermit. Also, those energies I think are kind of important, such as the sun, happiness. Do we know what that is? Are we living it? Are we loving it? Or perhaps our idea of the sun is changing. Pretty common, actually. The Tower. Anything unexpected, possibly upsetting, we should know about. All right. Show me, Taurus. In July. Show me, Taurus. In July. And like always, take it resonates, leave it does not, but do keep in mind these are largely future-oriented, which is to say there will be many things about the upcoming months we can anticipate. And then there's the stuff we don't know about, which is why we're here. That being said, you know, if you have no feeling about it at all, you're watching it, and it just doesn't strike a chord with you, don't worry about it. Check your other placements, you will find yourself in there somewhere. Justice. King of Wands. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. Nice. You, the Hierophant. 7 of Cups. And the 4 of Pentacles. You're looking pretty amped about work. Long story short. Everything is looking just so. And you are thrilled by that. Oh my goodness. Your work energies are on point. Things are so smooth right now. With justice there, contractually, with work, everything's looking very correct, and you could not be more excited, more thrilled, happy, just happy, very content with your work energies, how that's going. The flow once more seems to be on point. Sense of security is being built or reinforced. You're the master of your craft here. Everything's looking good, like real good at work, just buttoned up, as good as can be, right? On point. I love that. You, personally, the Hierophant, 7 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, there's something here emotionally you're holding on to or holding back from or refraining from. And that seems to be something you're aware of because you're here. So, that's you. That's your power card. All right. And 7 of Cups. Emotional openness, the willingness to explore. 4 of Pentacles, you're like, keeping that part to myself. Okay. At least in July. What you feel is what you feel. There's something there you're working through. But it's kind of quiet or private to you. But you're aware of it, all right? You're aware of it, and you're looking at it. But your outward energy is very pleased with work and how things are going. But like I said, everything there feels contractually correct. And that's an awesome feeling, right? Yes, I would even say it's a bit triumphant. And by July. There's a sense of I played my part and I played it well. Perhaps very recently. But overall, I would just say well done there. You look great. You look wonderful. But inside, yeah, there's something here you're working through. In the emotional area. Okay? Let's keep going. Perhaps you will show me. Show me, Taurus, in August. Seven of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Cups, and Temperance. Okay. Huh. It's different. It's a bit harsh. But straightforward. Harsh, though. A little cut and dry there. Queen of Swords, 8 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. I see you making a declaration, and it makes sense to you, based on logic and reasoning. And the delivery of it is very straightforward. There is a pathway here you're choosing to exit. Now, the 7 of Pentacles, pathway. Okay. Very generic cover term. It's something that you've personally grown, put time, energy, and effort into. And it's rooted. Okay? It's rooted. It has roots. It even grew to a certain extent. But at some point it plateaued, became stagnant. And with that Seven of Pentacles, our task is to understand if it still has growth potential still, if it will still yield more results, or is this as good as it gets? And you're showing me by August you understand intellectually, and you're backing it up in the real world. I'm looking at that pathway, that Seven of Pentacles, that thing that has roots that I directly contributed to and helped grow. I'm looking at it, and I kind of declare that it's reached its potential. It's maxed out. There's nothing more to get from this pathway. And like I said, it's very much a declarative, outward declarative. It's very straightforward. You can't miss it. You're being very informative about your decision-making process. And a lot of people might look at that and say it's very cold and detached, but it's, to you at this point, it's factual. Do you want to know what's behind it? Is actually a great deal of emotional work that's led you up to it. So that's what you were working through over here. The Hierophant, Seven of Cups, Four of Pentacles, you told me you were working through something emotionally, and that it was private to you, but you're on it. You're aware of it. And it's actually something you have been working through for a long time. I didn't know how long until right now. The Wheel of Fortune, Five of Cups, Temperance. That's a long time. It took a long time for the feelings to catch up to you. It represents unhappiness of the past and how it's been with you for a long time. An unhappiness that's been with you for a long time. Something that you have been trying to understand, pinpoint, identify for a long time. And oh my goodness, life gets real, life gets busy, so it didn't always have your full attention. I really want to emphasize this. Whatever this is that you're showing me with so much thought, you're done with now, by August, represents a background work of a lot of emotional insight, understanding, allowing yourself to get comfortable with the subject, coaxing yourself to understand it, showing yourself patience time and again, compassion time and again for whatever this is. Yeah, you weren't joking when you said, oh, I know what it is. I'm working through it. And here's the delivery. And I think that's why you're showing me what looks like to others perhaps a cold or very straightforward, straight shot decision. But for you, it represents a lot of time of working through these emotions. It's saying whatever that pathway is, it is so long-standing and so stagnant. I had ample time to emotionally prepare for its exit or my exit of it or its loss. I've had lots of time to prepare myself to not give to this anymore. And it took me a long time to understand I don't want to give to it anymore. It's like I always wanted more from this, but it never did, and I had to come to terms with that. So you're doing a great job here. But man, that was really stretched out. It took a long time for you to understand your feelings for this. And I can see why. It's a very Taurus process. Okay? I'm just glad you did. By all rights, honey, from what I'm looking at, you could have just continued to let this on as is. Run it self-neutral. Continue to stagnate. That was a choice too. Feel like it bothered you. It bothered you a lot and for a long time. This does not give me more. I don't want to continue to give to it. Whatever that Seven of Pentacles is to you. You're showing me emotional complexity behind it. It's personal to you. But you also understood, and you took your time to understand why you don't want to continue to give to it anymore. So I say, well done. You've done a great job. You were very, very thorough with this. There's nothing rushed about it. Not at all. To say you took your time is an understatement. Oh, but the delivery looks so easy. Oh, I bet. It's like, Taurus, how can you just walk? Actually, I'm not just anything. I've been learning to let this go for years. It takes place on the inside where no one can see it, though. Okay. I promise you, the Taurus I'm looking at, you've done the work. All right? That's quite something. No, I don't think it's the glowing success of whatever your Eight of Pentacles is. That seems to be quite solid through your eyes and through your energy. Here's that sense of, that's going pretty well. Like I said, it's very buttoned up. You look very, very glowy. So there is a sense of accomplishment here for you rather recently. And if that's true, congratulations. But job well done. You know, job well done there. No. This other thing is... It took you a long time to recognize its futility. I'm not saying it didn't mean something to you, but in terms of whatever this is in the greater scheme of things, you say it's futile. It does not give, it does not grow. Seven of Pentacles is very tricky, as you know. You see, the promise is something, but the promise does not yield. Show me Taurus in September. Tower, Three of Cups, and the Page of Wands. The World, the High Priestess, the King of Pentacles. You're prepared. The receiving end isn't. I see. Once more, you're showing me preparedness, and this is hard. I'm seeing what looks like the fallout here. What do you mean you don't want to keep bringing this together? Like I said, you're very clear on the subject. You anticipated this reaction. Like I said, you were prepared. You took your time, and there was nothing impulsive about this. Whatever this is also, therefore, had ample opportunity to get on a recognizable growth track with you. Okay? You didn't just show yourself patience. By extent, or extension, I should say, you showed patience to the situation, too. But yeah, that's a shock. That's quite the shock. Not for you. Someone else. Or multiple people. I don't know. But yeah, there's surprise, honey. There's fallout to this. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why you're showing me such a straightforward declarative. It's kind of like it has to be. That tells me then whatever was part of this was probably comfortable with where things were. You weren't. But yeah, that's not your tower. That's what you might call a fallout tower to the situation. What do you mean you don't want to keep bringing this together? That's you saying I anticipated this. King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the World. You knew by closing this out it was going to generate a certain reaction. And so we're having now the chain reactions. So here was your decision, your declarative. More for yourself first. The situation second. Okay? Once more, I'm looking at a very prepared Taurus. Once more, I will emphasize there is nothing impulsive or rash around this at all. None whatsoever. You anticipated the reaction surrounding you. I'm looking at a Taurus point blank who is bringing about change because they chose it. Not common. Fixed signs. I don't know what you know about fixed signs. Not too big on chains. Ooh, not big fans. You're a fixed sign. Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. Not fans of chains. Unless we're the ones prompting it. It's under our design. And it usually takes time. So, when I'm telling you this Taurus is prepared, this is something you've been working through. And the results are correct for you. Yes, that's who I'm looking at today. I'm not seeing a Taurus going back and forth. I'm not seeing a Taurus dig their heels in and say, I will not change. I'm not seeing the stubbornness. I'm not seeing any of that. You're choosing change. I don't know what this is to you, but it was kind of a big deal. Okay? And there is fallout, yes. Ripples. Shockwaves. A little bit. It's not too bad, actually. Page of Wands, 3 Cups. That's not too bad. But you expected that too. Yeah, as one should. We take ownership for these things. But you know what? It started... Look at you. It all started with this. I'm working through that. I like how you showed yourself patience over... I'm going to go ahead and call it years. 7 of Pentacles, time, Wheel of Fortune, Temperance. I'm going to go ahead and call this years. You've been showing this situation and yourself patience for years, understanding, compassion for years. And you saw what it amounted to, and it wasn't satisfactory. Okay. But no, you knew. You knew. You felt that coming. You knew this was coming. You're closing it out. It's a hell of the next couple months, honey, but the point is that you're ready, you're prepared. I really honor the work you've done today, and you will continue to do for the next several months. I get your delivery. I get it. When we do cold deliveries like that, people aren't going to be necessarily our biggest fans. Do you understand what's right for you? You keep that in mind moving forward. Okay? Okay. The sun. Show me the sun. No back and forth. No yesterday. No tomorrow. Change my mind. I don't know. No mental lockdowns. No mental shutdowns for you. No stuckness. No frozen in fear. Like I figured it out. You did. Show me this one, please, for Taurus. Still don't quite know what this is. I just know you built into it for years. And it's that much harder for you to dismantle it. That's why I'm proud of you. You're doing great. This, though, that's divine. That's great work energies right there. But you know that. You know that. Good job. Isn't that such a good feeling when you've met all your obligations, contracts, and everything's just right? Just the way I want it. Right? That part's secure, and it will continue to be as such. No, no, no. This is something else. All right. 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands, the King of Wands. It's interesting. You might have some very strong fire in your chart, particularly Leo. Maybe some Aries. You say you know it's worth fighting for because you get results. When something's worth fighting for, you get positive results. When something is not worth fighting for, you get negative results. I think that's very fair of you. It's also very correct. It's 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands, King of Wands. This idea of what makes you happy has been under personal turmoil and conflict for years. And you've been struggling with yourself, and you've been struggling with this idea of happiness externally. Work seems to be safe. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's good. But the sun, you have some very strong King of Wands in you. That sense of passion, that sense of trailblazing, where I find myself, where I put my best energies. I need to feel good about that. And whatever this is, I haven't felt good or confident, key word there, about this in years. And that's something I had to come to terms with. I took my time. But yes, this idea of personal happiness has eluded you for a long time. And it's like, it shouldn't be this hard. Something's either A, happy, or B, it's not. It's either A, fixable, or B, it's not fixable. There's either signs of life on that vine, or there isn't. It hasn't bloomed in years. One should not be in so much conflict over what constitutes happiness. It shouldn't take years, but you took your time. Once more, you took your time, just to be certain. Am I right? Just to be safe, just to be sure. You did it. You did your part. You did your bit. More than. Okay? But you're right, there shouldn't be that much fucking conflict over what gives you a sense of pride and confidence and passion. Knights of Pentacles, the Tower, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Whatever this is, you're saying you tried to go along with that notion of happiness for a long time. Again, it's a pre-existing something on the table. Your best effort, I'm assuming, that is your master symbol. Your best effort, your best intent, your best investment. Continuing to move in this way, you said it would be Tower. It's running contrary to happiness once more. You're feeding something that doesn't grow. And you know you've come to terms with it. It's like, I cannot abide this. I'm seeing shockwaves of, what do you mean you don't want to continue to stay here and feed this? And you're like, I know it's not correct for me. You're insistent, but you had to learn it for yourself first. And it's like, this is something I have to fight for. And for something that's supposed to make me happy, it does anything but. Anything but. At what point do I get to be happy with this? And you haven't. So I told you there's a backlog of emotions in there. And some of them are anger. Some of them are resentment. And it's just sadness. Sadness above all. Disappointment specifically. That you cannot feel better about this. That you cannot feel better about your best intentions. That you cannot feel better about this particular pathway. You've tried. God knows you've tried, right? You're like, I just can't lie to myself anymore. The sun shouldn't be that hard. Maybe you put this kind of work into the start. Yeah, for certain. You don't go reaching for a star unless you're willing to put in some work. Yeah, this is sun, honey. You should be able to walk outside your front door. A little bit of warmth can go a long way. You went as far as you could with this, looking for the happiness, and I can't find it. To this day, I can't find it. And I see you mourning this. I see you mourning the loss of this and recognizing it and giving it the space it needs to separate yourself from it too. And I think you're doing all the right things, even though at the time it probably seems scary as shit. But I promise you, these are all the correct conclusions. You don't want to continue to invest in a lie, a false sun, a false happiness. It runs contrary to confidence. It runs contrary to who you are. Okay? All right, let's see. And I am sorry that folks are surprised, but you're like, I'm not. I knew that was going to happen. You did. You're very intuitive. That's good. Like I said, you're prepared. The Emperor, the Empress death. Okay. I'm really not interested in pursuing that further. I think it speaks for itself, yeah? Yeah, that really does speak for itself. Twas your equal. Okay? This is what would not grow. Improve. That's why you took your time with it. As one should. I'm sure you two are empowered individuals, but perhaps not in connection to each other. I'm sure once upon a time you two saw each other and gave each other those assignments as being my equal, the Emperor and the Empress. There's a lot of remorse here you're having to come to terms with, honey. Having put yourself into this. For as long as you did, and they did too. You recognize that as well. Time is time is time. Investment. Time, energy, and effort will always be superior to coin, in my opinion, for that reason. Because without time, energy, and effort, you can't make the coin. But I know investment in real-world activities, it speaks a lot. It also speaks a lot when you have your equal and something there's not growing or refuses to. And you have more regret than you do sunshine and happiness, and it shouldn't be that fucking hard. I didn't quite know what it was. Oh, but you did. But it did, at one point, represent your best effort. My best intent, as I understand it. My best investment. You got me. It's supposed to make me happy. And maybe it once did. I understand your delivery. I do. A lot of people would say that's cold as shit. They didn't see all the work that led up to it. That was extremely thoughtful. Compassionate. They didn't see the pain you carried for a long time, trying to understand this better, trying to understand yourself better. They don't see that. They see the end result. Okay? But this is not about looks and how people perceive you. If we constantly made moves or motions based on perception, we will get nothing done. Okay? And we won't be true to ourselves. I want you to be true to yourself. You're already on that course. You know yourself very well here. And I know that because you took the time to understand. Okay? Here's the thing. You showed me the potential of aces a couple times, so you understand in some way in your background that that's inevitable. That's not the emphasis here today. You know that. But by and large, Taurus, honey, I do see this being determined, focused upon, delivered in reality, and finally completely understood and incorporated by September. Okay? Once more, are they yours or not? There's not much middle ground on this one. Okay? But I have to say, communicate. I see that. Communicate very clearly, and so you do. Right there. Okay? We're leaving no room for misgivings, doubts, second guessing, that kind of thing. Choose a new direction, and so you are. Easier said than done, I know, but I promise you, you are extremely prepared for this. You're making it look easy. That's because you took the time to understand. Okay? Yeah. Gosh. It's one of the most prepared things I think I've ever seen, with so much thoughtfulness and patience and compassion despite the pain you felt, and disappointment specifically. How long has it been since you felt the warmth on your face? Just simple happiness. It worked, though. That's nice. I'm glad to see that you have so much accomplishment there. That's beautiful. It speaks to you very well. Number 35. I don't know who I'm kidding. Okay. Number 35. Turn your worry into wonder. Surrender to the experience. What possibilities can you dream into reality? Number 35. Okay. If you're sitting here watching this, well, it's all bad news bear, you missed the point. Okay. You missed the point. Yeah, no. No. It's very brave. It's very knowing. And it's very self-empowering for the right reasons. But above all, you took your time because you know yourself. All right, we have the letters C, W. We have the medallion of Aries twice. Told you. Or rather, you told me. So you have some very interesting fire in your chart, particularly, as said, Aries and Leo. But there you go. Let's see, we have the owl in the upright, which is good. Eyes wide open, wisdom, smart, intelligent, seeing things for what they are. Logic, reasoning, rationality, but eyes open, observant, intelligent. The tree of life, 10 of pentacles. Yeah, I know your foundation's important to you. I'll say that. There will be parts of this that clearly you will continue to endeavor upon, keep stable, grow into, because you know they work. Okay? Obviously. And there's other things in your life that you will no longer continue to feed or put yourself into. Okay. We have the key. Yes, you have the key. To unlock this, to release yourself. Always. You have the key. And then we have the Captain's Wheel, which, of course, is the combination of the Wheel of Fortune and the world. Time moves forward always. And sometimes the past catches up to our present selves. But in those spaces of time moving forward, and sometimes the past comes back, doors close, doors open. Some are recycled. You're closing a door after much due consideration of the past, balancing it against the present. And that's very fair. Okay, Taurus, honey, I hope this helped you. This was quite the read. Very powerful. But I hope it helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.